Welcome to the Daily Market Recap. Today is Tuesday, May 26, 2026. The bulls are officially back in town. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq roared to fresh all-time closing highs today as Wall Street returned from the long weekend with a massive appetite for risk. The main driver? Rising optimism that peace talks between the U.S. and Iran are proceeding nicely to end their conflict, which sent Treasury yields plummeting and sparked a relief rally across the board. When it came to sectors, technology and semiconductors absolutely stole the show, leading the massive charge higher. However, it wasn't a green day for everyone. Energy stocks took a beating as crude oil prices initially cooled on ceasefire hopes, and healthcare insurers also dragged the Dow Jones slightly into the red. Meanwhile, CNN's Fear Greed Index dialed in at a greedy 58.6 today, showing that investors are happily shrugging off recent geopolitical jitters and feeling highly confident. Semiconductor giant Micron went absolutely ballistic today, surging over 19% to close at an all-time high of $895.88 to 2936. The Spark, a massive price target upgrade from UBS to an eye-popping $1,625 on unprecedented AI-driven demand for memory chips. This explosive rally added $163 billion to Micron's market value, officially making it the newest member of the elite trillion-dollar club and sparking talk of a summer market melt-up. Geopolitical tensions have kept markets on edge, but President Donald Trump's comments that peace negotiations are proceeding nicely injected raw optimism into the market. While the U.S. military still conducted self-defense strikes in southern Iran, reports of a potential memorandum to extend the ceasefire by 60 days fueled hopes that the critical Strait of Hormuz will reopen, easing long-term oil supply concerns. The bond market threw stock investors a major lifeline today as the 10-year Treasury yield cooled down to a 1.5-week low of 4.47%. Thanks to the optimism surrounding Middle East peace negotiations, inflation pressures eased, giving high-growth tech names and airlines a clear runway to power higher without the fear of immediate rate hikes from the Federal Reserve. All right, let's take a quick look at today's biggest winners and losers on Wall Street. Today's tech-fueled party was led by Micron Technology, which skyrocketed over 19%, 3.3 following in its footsteps. On semiconductor surged over 9.2%, Teradyne jumped 8.5%, and Marvell Technology rounded out the winners by climbing a solid 8%. On the flip side, some stocks got absolutely crushed today. AutoZone plunged nearly 9% after missing third-quarter sales consensus estimates. Tractor Supply slipped 5.7%. Software giant Intuit dropped 4.8%, and energy behemoth Chevron fell 3.5% as lower crude oil prices weighed heavily on fossil fuel plays. Let's map out the charts for the major indices. For the S&P 500, tracked by the SPY ETF, we closed the day at $749.27, 4.4 by 1. Keep an eye on the immediate technical support at $745. If the bulls keep this momentum alive, the next major resistance level we are targeting is right at $755. Over on the tech-heavy Nasdaq, represented by the QQQ ETF, we wrapped up trading at $728.93. Immediate support is resting near the recent pivot low of $713, while psychological resistance looms large at $730. A break above $730 could open the floodgates for more record highs. Lastly, the small cap Russell 2000, tracked by the IWM ETF, made history today by crossing above the crucial 2,900 mark on the index level to close at $290.04. For IWM, technical support has formed around $284, with the near-term ceiling of resistance capping gains near $292. Shifting gears to the digital asset space, major cryptocurrencies held relatively range-bound today, 1.2.5. Bitcoin hovered around the $76,750 mark, while Ethereum stabilized near $2,114 as the market digested a flurry of macroeconomic data. The big story in crypto is a sudden shift in institutional behavior. Major corporate giants with massive crypto treasuries like Strategy and Bitmine unexpectedly paused their regular Bitcoin and Ethereum purchases this week, combined with a massive $1.26 billion in weekly Bitcoin ETF outflows. It's clear institutions are playing it safe. However, capital didn't exit the space. Instead, it rotated into AI-linked altcoins, causing Near Protocol, WorldCoin, and Render to experience double-digit surges. As we look ahead to tomorrow, the overall market sentiment is overwhelmingly bullish, but highly reactive to geopolitical headlines, 1.3.6. Keep a very close eye on the upcoming Consumer Confidence Index and upcoming speeches from Federal Reserve officials. That's a wrap for today's market recap. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We'll see you tomorrow.